Hello, everybody. I'm at the river. I got a story I'm going to tell you. This story is 100% true. I always tell everything just exactly like it is. I got something here y'all can read while I'm talking about this. This is like what I kind of grew up with. Make sure everything's looking right here. Yeah. But this is kind of what I grew up with here, y'all. And I really don't know why, you know. My daddy at a poker game, this man won't sell a truck for about $500. And Tammy's daddy's actually the one that told me about this part, about at the poker game. Because Tammy's daddy wanted the truck too, but my daddy wound up getting it. And uh, Tammy's daddy was actually laughing about it. Said the old man pulled something on him about the truck. And the motor was bad in the truck. My daddy got the truck. The motor was bad in the truck. Uh, he brung the truck to my house, and I took the motor out of the truck, rebuilt the motor completely. Brand new everything. And that's not no quick job pulling the motor, tearing it down, putting it back together. And my I rebuilt the motor. Didn't My daddy he actually wound up getting a good deal on the truck because all he had to do was pay for the parts. He didn't pay me to rebuild a motor. Hey, I mean, this might be what sells me. Uh, but anyway, just tell you, something happened to one of my trucks or something. And he wasn't driving the one I rebuilt the motor. He wasn't driving it. And for some reason or another, he told me that if I put insurance on that truck, I could drive it. And so he pulled out in front of me. The girl at the schoolhouse, pulled out in front of me, and then backed her truck up. So I had the insurance on the truck. It was my insurance company. It wasn't his. So actually, they owed the they owed me money. But I mean, uh, I was just gonna let my daddy get it, and I did let him get the money, and I fixed the truck. The damage from the wreck, I'm the one that fixed it. I know how to do body work, everything, fix dents and paint. I know how to do all that. I learned it a long time ago. Self-taught. I had this boy that worked with me, and everybody thought he didn't have good sense. And I mean, my mama thought it too, and my daddy thought it, and everybody thought he wasn't that smart. And me and him went down there to my daddy's house while they was waiting for that. While he was waiting for that check, and that boy that worked for me, he was somebody that liked to shoot the bull, and he started kind of messing with Daddy about Danny is gonna keep the check. And I was just sitting there listening. And this and my daddy didn't think this guy was smart enough to make that up. But he did. He completely made that up that I was gonna keep the check. Though daddy thought he wasn't smart enough to make that up. So he thought my daddy thought I had been talking about I was gonna keep the check. And him and my daddy and that they'd go on a minute and that boy'd say something else. Then that boy'd say something else. Until my daddy done got mad about I was gonna keep the check. I hadn't even said nothing. I was just sitting there listening to how my daddy was just taking the bait. I never knew why my mama nor my daddy trusted me. Well, I mean, even like just borrowing $100 from my daddy. He like thought I wouldn't pay him back. And I mean, it wasn't even, it's actually like wired up yesterday. Boy, I was up there at their camp. I didn't have my money with me. I had it down here at my camper. But I was going to give that $20 to somebody and let them shoot up there, at the turkey event. And anyway, my daddy was kind of giving me the third degree. In other words, I didn't have no money. We was just somewhere where I ran out of money. I don't remember what it was. But I didn't have money trouble at that time. Because this is all a little later on in my life. And that boy kept on messing around with my daddy until my daddy got mad as hell. That guy wasn't smart enough to make all that up. And then my daddy kept on until he made me mad. Believing this fool that's just sitting there laughing, teasing my daddy about I'm going to keep the insurance check. And I already knew my daddy was about to worry the teetotal hell of been out of them people about the check. I never talked to the insurance company. My daddy would like go up there. And I knew about them. I knew about that. I don't remember how I knew about it. But I know he was like going up there almost every day. It was a pretty good bit of money. It tore that truck all to hell. But I mean, I fixed the truck, and that was a $500 truck. You know, the original deal was I'll buy these trucks and we'll fix them up and we'll sell them and we'll split the money. I never seen no money. And I fixed up several trucks for them because, like I say, I know how to do all that stuff. I know how to rebuild a motor. I know how to fix vents. I pretty much can do anything on a truck. I never seen no money. But I mean, that boy wound up like teasing him, making my daddy mad. Then my daddy made me mad because he like turned around looking at me, raising hell about the money. Because them people, that insurance company, they owed daddy money because it wasn't my fault, that the car pulled out in front of me. And that was a hell of a mess. I've told y'all a few times. The girl pulled out in front of me, and I started skidding and hit her. And then she cranked her car up and backed it up at the stop sign. And they was, I mean, 500 kids there saying he just went over and hit her while she was sitting at the stop sign. And it did look like that. I mean, I got pissed at that state patrol because he believed them. He believed the kids. But my mama and my daddy both was like that. And I probably have told them that they was like that. They was they was like that. I don't know if it's cause they was married. I mean, but it's kind of unusual for your mama and your daddy to be like that. And why? What did I ever do to my daddy to think I would swindle him out of my money? And see, that guy that was telling my daddy shooting all that bull to my daddy, he knew all about it. He knew it was my insurance company, and he was smarter than what everybody thought he was. A lot smarter than what everybody thought he was. And see, that's why my daddy thought I was going to keep the money, because he didn't think this boy had enough sense to make up a story. I never told him I was going to keep the money. And that guy like that, kids like that for. I remember one time we was in the truck going to work, and this same guy was telling another guy he seen his wife naked. And he was sitting there describing what she looked like naked. And I mean, they was about to break out to a fight, and he was just lying. I mean, he was just completely lying. But I mean, he done stuff like that. And I mean, we got it straightened out and everything. I told Jimmy, I said, man, don't you know he's just sitting there saying that stuff? Because, see, I knew. I could tell. But this Jimmy believed it. He believed he seen his wife naked. And he didn't. And he done stuff like that all the time. And then, I sat there and seen, here's what happened. I sat there and seen my daddy believe a fool over me. He believed what a fool was saying, teasing over me. I never stole nothing. I never lied. I mean, I ain't never been bad about lying and cheating and stealing. And this is what like just kind of gets me the most now. And I don't damn forget. I mean, hey y'all, I mean, I'll be honest with y'all. Man, I don't know what in the world to think about folks like me and Tammy, boy. I mean, people think and stealing and bum and no good for nothing. And I mean, he was telling me some stuff. I said, man, I said, Richie, you ought to like just see it from like the way I see everything and people talking and stuff. And I mean, he's got his own stuff. So I mean, I ain't sitting there just talking about my stuff. He's got his own stuff. And I mean, you hear me every once in a while say, has the whole world completely lost their mind? I mean, I don't know what Stephen's doing. He don't, hey, Stephen don't tell you nothing. Stephen don't run and tell me nothing. If I want to know anything, I have to figure it out. And like I say, y'all, you know, I mean, if I turn this camera around, I'm I'm just sitting there. Like I don't. Me and Tammy don't need to swindle nobody out of no money. We are not money grubbers. So here's what Richie told me a while ago. Wider, his name is Richie. He bought a trailer. He bought a mobile home, and he told them that he didn't really like the electric uh, stove. That he liked the gas stove. A few days later, he went back to the trailer, and that stove was gone. Just because he's saying he didn't really like a stove. Well, I mean, they took the stove and put it on the Facebook marketplace and sold it. And I mean, he bought the trailer with, hell, the stove was him. Whether he liked it or not, the stove belonged to him. And I mean, he has a ton of stuff like that. And Wider, he does the right thing about everything. Do the right thing about everything. Tammy does the right thing about everything. And and I mean, there's, man, I took my daddy hunting. I'd go pick him up from his house. Me and my buddy, according to what buddy I had with me. We'd get up 5 o'clock in the morning, get ready, and go pick him up. We had to wake him up. And then, like, well, I got to drink some coffee. And, like me and my buddy's ready to go. He's just holding me up like putting an elephant on a truck. Just hold, hell, we could have went on and went hunting without him. And it's always like that. Always. And, then like, he want to stop at the Huddle House and eat breakfast. And me and my buddy, we thought we had to be at the woods at daylight. We worked. Me and him worked. We wasn't off every day of the week where you could just go hunting every day. We worked. And we, when we was off, that's what we wanted to do. I wasn't doing my daddy's plans. Them was my plans. And then it's the same thing about fishing. Hell, man, he'd keep on until he had you mad as hell, trying to get him to hurry up. And that little boat I got at the house, I bought that when I was pretty young. that boat's about 30 years old. I went in there and bought it, paid cash for it, paid cash for everything. The boat, motor, trailer, everything. And I told him one day to go in there and pay for the gas. It was a 6 gallon uh, boat motor tank. He said, I ain't gonna do all the damn buying. I said, well, just what have you bought? What the hell have you bought? And I mean, and yeah, it's like that all the time. Like I tell him wide up, like if you just stand back, people will bum off of you, and they will. And one time, this is about my daddy, y'all, and he wasn't all bad, but he wasn't all good. Not like I am to my son. I had a boat that I wrecked one time. I fell out of it and it went up the riverbank and hit a tree running wide open. And it bent the front of it. And he come and got that boat and trailer. And they welded up some stuff on it. He took it somewhere and got it welded up. He said, what I'll do, he said, you got the boat and trailer. He said, I'll buy a motor that I found. Cost $200 or $300. And he put that motor on that boat. I done it. I done everything. And then I be damned. He wouldn't let me use it. He wouldn't let me use my boat and trailer in his motor. Like, he's the one made the deal. You got the boat motor, and I'll buy a motor, and we will have us a boat. Never used it. That hurt my feelings bad. I mean, it really did. And I remember, y'all, like it was yesterday. So it's pretty young. I was pretty young, me and Tammy was. And I was getting started in the roofing business. And I would roof what houses I had. And then me and Tammy would go rake and bale pine straw. And every day I didn't have a house, I would go back to the woods and rake and bale pine straw. We didn't have money handed to us. And it was one Sunday, that's when I went to go get in that boat, told him, I'm going to take the boat, me and Tammy's going to go to the river. We done been working 7 days a week for quite a while. Quite a while. And one Sunday we was going to take off and go in that boat and motor. and he wouldn't let us get it. And it was my boat and my trailer and his motor. I let him keep it. I let him have it. Hey, I didn't get no knockdown drag out, but my damn heart was hurt, boy. I had a boy that worked with me. His daddy found out about it. His daddy's a friend of mine. He's still is. His daddy called me up and he said, Danny, you can come get my boat anytime you want to. Boat and motor. And I thanked him and everything. And I never went and borrowed it. But I didn't ever forget he offered to let us use it. And this before I got the little fast boat I got at the house now. This was all before that. And you know, the boat that my daddy, put the motor on, I actually had, me and Tammy bought that when we was in high school, a boat motor and trailer, and that motor messed up. Me and Tammy was out of business. Oh, my heart might be a little hard, but I've dealt with some hard hearts too. Like people are like constantly talking about, have you went and hugged them? Have you went and hugged them? Have they come and hugged me? You know, we are we are not huggers. We just ain't. Stephen Hodges, he's a hugger. Yeah, we all hug somebody if they come to hug us. But like, you don't have to hug Stephen. You don't have to go to him. He'll come to you and hug you. Hey, I mean, when he come down here the other day and grilled them steaks, I seen him walk over there and hug his mama, and I was sitting in the chair over there. He come right straight over there, put his arms around my neck, me right on the side of my face. The kind of son I got. I see y'all.